Upper back stiffness in the thoracic spine is a really common problem. What have you found the most effective ways for increasing range of motion in that area?
I love holding a dumbbell and working on a pullover where you're using the bench as sort of to create a tug point between the hip and the shoulder. With the pullover, we've seen that we can get people, they often will feel more comfortable here. Like here, they can often get into it better that way than just going cross bench. So in line with bench is going to be less intense than cross bench. Cross bench will be more intense. Someone at really low levels could just get in against a wall and actually just start like building up, like literally just working out of that position. Like I want people to wind up where they feel comfortable working on a bridge, but I haven't put the time into that one like I have into knees. I think I need to understand the body weight side better. Do you have any tips on that?
I'd be happy to jump in because I invested a ton of time into improving the back bridge, because with calisthenics, we tend to get quite kyphotic through the thoracic. We're doing a ton of vertical pull-ups. We're doing a lot of rows. The lats get so tight and they really pull us down. We don't get as much spine extension. So I've also found the pullover movement phenomenal, and I'm glad that you've raised that point. Getting the right shoulder setup is key. So sometimes dumbbell is too narrow of a grip for holding overhead, especially in bigger guys such as myself. I'm 6 foot tall and quite wider shoulders. So I've found that using a dowel or a stick with a weight in the middle allows me to choose a comfortable grip to actually get enough range of motion and weight going backwards. So I'm all for the weighted pullover with external weight as a gentle way to open up. And the progression I try and get people on ASAP is actually a bodyweight pullover. So if you can picture this, you've got the same setup on the bench as a fulcrum for your spine. You've got your hands fixed behind you on something like a Smith machine or a barbell in a rack, so that the hands aren't moving, they're fixed overhead, and you're doing the pullover motion by letting your hips and lumbar spine arch, so you're getting that global extension through the thoracic. And the way I like to scale this, Ben, is for beginners. Doing isometrics is really safe. So you're in the position, it's deep, but it's tolerable. You do it for a set of say 15 to 30 seconds. You're yielding a bit deeper with each breath, not going so far that you can't pull out. And that's the starting point. Over time, you're doing reps where you're going deep and deep into range of motion. And this ties in everything we've said. We're stretching what's tight, strengthening what's weak, and doing that through a full range of motion.
Yep. Beautiful. I'm going to work on that one.
And tying this in with something more local to the spine itself and the erector muscles would be just something standard like a back bend, like a standing back bend. You would be surprised how challenging this is for the anterior core. So as you're stretching and strengthening through those anterior abs, and also your spinal erectors, they're not used to extending the back to that deep range of motion. So by doing a combination of pullovers, whether body weight or with a external weight, dumbbells, etc., plus standing extensions, that is the twofold approach I've found for really getting thoracic extension. Regress to progress, be consistent, and apply normal strength training principles.
We do pullovers in conjunction with training the opposite of a pullover.
Perfect.
So it might not seem like much, but if you use at least 10% of what your body weighs, and then you're actually trying to hold your arms straight and control it down. Someone could start as light as they want. You could start with just your arms and actually fighting the eccentrics. You're getting yourself, the traditional exercise is you're raising like this, but most people will feel limited through the shoulder that they can't really engage. You're actually trying to train those lower traps. So if you do it as eccentric training, if you get yourself into position and then fight, you can get super strong between right there, those lower traps. So it's not exactly lower back, and it's not actually like scapular retractors. It's that right there. It's your actual lower trap. So when we do pullover, we do it always in superset with that trap 3 raise, meaning like you have the trap muscles here, you have 3 rows of traps. That third row is the one right above. So we want to not just stretch with the pullover, we then want to be super strong on the other side. So we do, and we've seen that doing it as eccentric training, people often then really feel it working. So think like 5 reps, but 5 seconds down on each rep, something like that. They can often feel more than just like a set of 10 or something and trying to raise the arms. Not that that wouldn't work, but when you get yourself into position and then you're fighting, you can often feel it.
Love it. That's that whole agonist-antagonist approach where it is comprehensive from both sides of the body. And just supersetting it is a great way to make each subsequent set feel better. I'm sure that you found that when you do a trap raise eccentric with a pullover, as you get to that second or third set, that's when you truly get your full range, lack of apprehension, everything's firing correctly. And I'm really happy that you mentioned that two-sided approach to training, because if you just do one, you're missing out on an important piece of the puzzle.
Yep. Yeah, it's not an either or. It's not strength or stretch, and it's not one side of the body or the other. So that's a little detail. It's taken us a while from like really working with people to find that the pullover, when you then do the opposite and you're actually trying to be strong that way, not just strong that way, but strong that way, it seems to go really smoothly.
People will always have one area that needs more work than the other. It's not often where someone needs to do pullovers and trap raises to the exact same extent. You'll find that if you put more work into one, it's going to improve your body as a whole. So just keep that in mind. The main takeaway here is, unfortunately, the thing that you're weak at, the thing that feels the most uncomfortable, it's going to have generally the biggest impact on your body as a result.
And that's the thing that probably the majority of people haven't realized how much magic there is in exercise there. That the things that they feel they can't do is actually like where they have the most room to gain.
The instant approach is taking a drug or seeing someone to fix your body. But once you get that affirmation in yourself that you have the ability to transform your own body through exercise alone, wow, that's powerful stuff. And it's just a matter of educating yourself and having the discipline to do the work. If you enjoyed that, click here for the full Fitness FAQs video. Peace.